but it's like a dangling glasses.
They
Like
did.
sunglasses
They're
are great.
sunglasses, I think. I think they're supposed to be sunglasses. You know, they're real
Are
cool
those
dudes on Nouns.
are those eyeballs in them still
No,
though?
I don't think they're
It's part white,
eyeballs.
part black. Are you sure? I don't
I
know.
mean, I'm not
Kind of looks like
100% sure. I'm sure that someone on Twitter will probably let us know. But I know T went through this whole grand scheme of like, this is how it's going to go down. There's going to be the Razor. Razor's going to latch onto Medusa, but Gunner's going to kick her away. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, what are you thinking here when we see this draft coming out?
I mean, that's definitely the most interesting thing is certainly Gunnar playing mid-tusk. This is one of his specialty heroes that he likes playing. He plays it regularly. Getting the Ags is certainly very powerful, but is it going to work out if he gets doomed is another problem. I mean, and the other issue is that Nouns, their damage is very focused on basically Medusa. I guess Hoodwink outputs some decent damage as well, so they have some kill potential there, but I feel like in ultra late game fights, all the heroes on EG just look so freaking tanky, and they've got a Chen to back them up too, so that means even more armor and heals. So I don't know, I feel like in a later game fight, EG is going to look really strong, and if they can't kill the Medusa, then Costabile should be able to turn things in Nouns' favor.
So I guess the question is, how do you ensure that, you know, EG stays behind here, right? Because that if you go toe to toe, if both teams are, you know, just following on track, yes, Medusa is going to become a problem late game, but then again, on the side of Evil Geniuses, they're going to get really tanky and they don't quite have that damage coming out from Nouns. So how do they ensure that they get the upper hand here?
Shutting down Medusa is certainly one really good way. On the Noun side, they want to make sure that they just keep their net worth semi-comparable. That way, Medusa can be the frontliner to say, okay, you want to X-boat combo me? I don't care. I'm a Medusa. Obviously, you also have to worry about getting doomed potentially before you get off your Stone Gaze, but a lot of that's going to come down to initiation. But Nouns have a really strong early game. Beastmaster worked out really well for them last game. They've got Enchantress to secure this lane for Medusa. That is going to help out a lot as well. And Husky also can frontline a little bit. So they kind of need to like poke and stay survivable and basically allow themselves to survive against EG so that they can eventually turn fights. That should be how they should play this game.
Are there specific itemizations that you want to see to ensure that, you know, they stay very survivable?
It's mostly just about net worth, making sure Dusa is semi-comparable in survivability, that they have like Vlad's aura coming from Beastmaster to make Costabile a little stronger, and that Husky, if all goes well, he can also get enough items to be survivable. That maybe some force staffs too, that way they can offset some of those static link problems in the mid game that Medusa will run into.
Yeah, that'll be very important that they're able to have that mobility.
Gunner doing great though. 9-1. He's got his bottle on the way. Abed going instead for a bracer stack build instead, not too worrying as much about his spells here.
Makes sense, and it's fairly quiet though early on here. Not seeing too much of a kill potential coming out from either of these lanes just yet.
See if Gunner can get the bottom water rune. That would be pretty nice actually. It's, got Snowball here, so probably capable. It's going to be kind of important. I don't know if
they're racing. No,
yeah.
He can't get there in time. They were racing.
Yeah, the Snowball. He should have ran a little bit earlier. That would have been really big for him.
Ooh, that was very close here. Top lane does have the salve though, but the pressure is definitely being applied from the side of EG.
I do like EG's lanes really. They look really good here for Artesia at least. It's kind of similar to last game, just generally they get to be abusive, but with Chen it's even more so. Lots of pressure to zone out Hoodwink, who doesn't really want to trade with these Chen creeps, nor can she. And then Moo's going to try to harass a little bit with Wild Axes, but Bloodseeker, much like Chaos Knight, has really good sustain here.
You have a lot of Zoo going on here, right? Because you've got Moo, he's playing his Beastmaster. You've got, of course, a Chen online, and then you also have the Enchantress, so you're seeing a lot of trading of creeps, and I'm sure heavy push strat coming out too.
That's exactly right, and I think it looks a little better for EG in that sense because they've got a little bit better counter push. I guess they have like Wild Axes on Nouns and maybe like the Hoodwink spells, and I guess the Ice Shards can be okay, but it might be a little bit difficult for them to counter push anything that EG goes for later on. But we'll see how the Chen and the Enchant matches up. Chen is seen as an inferior hero to Enchantress for the last bit of time, but Chen can work too.
I mean, the lockdown's a little bit light coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses, right? I mean, in both sides, you've got a little bit lighter of the lockdown. You've got the ultimate, obviously, with the Rupture coming out from Bloodseeker, will be able to hold place. X is obviously a fantastic spell. And then eventually, you know, depending on the creep that Crit picks up, he can get the War Stomp. You can also get creeps that have lockdown on Chen, but...
That's a good point. Yeah, their lockdown is a little bit weak outside of X combo. That could definitely hurt them a little bit, especially against the survivable heroes. Whereas on the Noun side, I think they're relatively happy. Gunner's going to be great at disabling heroes. They've got Roar follow-up. They could also land Hoodwink stuns with Bushwhack. So I think they're going to be looking a little bit more safe. But a lot of it's going to come down to how fast does he get Ags on Gunner, the Tusk, and can he find opportunities to just yoink some EG hero back into his teammate? Or is it going to be like he gets doomed, X comboed out of position, and they're able to kill him? Without Medusa responding. So these mid-game fights are going to be big, assuming net worth is close. The laning stage is still very important here. For Coast to be had to buy a win lace to try to get away from Razor a little bit faster here.
That is indeed a problem that can occur when you're facing off with Razor. Good old race car Razor, as they used to call him.
He doesn't even have Storm Surge yet, but it's still very important that the Dusa doesn't lose her damage. That's going to be a big part of this game, really. Just how much damage do you lose from a static link as the fight develops?
She's just so slow. That's the one issue about a Medusa, right? It just takes way too long. Like, you know, a lot of the times you'll even see her getting pinballed around in the fights with the Force Staff. And again, this is what you see happen. They're going to try to just slow down the Razor, break the link, turn it back around, steal a little bit of the damage. And they have the enchant, so they'll put out a little bit of harass over onto Nightfall. Husky does have to be careful, though. He might, yeah, all right, Nightfall outplaying Husky here with that Plasma Field. That's going to be the first blood.
It was great that they were pressuring Nightfall because he doesn't have any regen here, so getting him low meant that he would be zoned from the lane for a bit, but Husky just overestimating his survivability. He had some good heal going, but Razor just had a lot of damage stolen still, so when he finally turned, it was easy kill.
Husky's back in the lane, though, and they did manage to go and, you know, like you said, apply the pressure, try to make it so that way he feels a little bit less comfortable approaching the lane until he gets more of that regen. But I do have a rotation here in the mid lane. Coming out from Chen, but just going to push Gunner back just a little bit.
Hasn't been a super easy lane for Gunner because he's going to constantly get Tidebringer smashed. Oh, wow. Landed his full combo to get Arcane Rune?
He wanted that rune.
Right. Was a little surprising. I mean, this is going to lead to a tower pressure. That part's pretty good.
You can see the rotation coming out here. The X marks spot over onto Husky. Crit's also in position. That should be a dead Deer Lady. So there it is. And the pressure continues. Z-Freak, he's trying his best to try to push them away. But there's only so much that a level 3 Hoodwink can do right now.
Yeah, they need to kill the catapult, but it still has one tower hit left on it. So they'll just tank this up and it's going to get low. Oh, never mind. They'll just stop tanking it for a brief moment. The catapult dies, but they might still be able to get it.
Could probably get Z-Freak here. Fly. Seeing the Hoodwink, they're going to get the X off, drag right back in, and they'll bonk on the head from Crit. Make sure they get the kill.
All right. It's really good for them. I mean, Tusk is okay at pulling creep waves back, but the issues here is he doesn't really have as many safe places to get last hits now.
Get the net thrown out over onto Abed. He's fairly tanky, though, again. Gunner is going to go for that snowball. Just be careful. Fly is here. Another net thrown out. Crit making his way over. Hits over onto Gunner, and that's a dead Tusk. Some body blocks coming out. Poor Husky. He's just trapped in all these creeps and a demon. That's a double kill now for Crit. And is it going to be a triple? Can they get over there fast enough? Now it looks like Z-Freak will be able to scurry away through the tree line, although he's going to walk right into Crit. Oh, man. All right. This is looking like maybe he will get it. A little bit of burn, 25 hit points. Nah, Z-Freak with the salve. Does have a couple of those stick charges. It's going to survive.
EG's just owning these rotations they did on the mid lane, accomplishing the tower kill, and now they're going to rotate to pressuring safe lane. Medusa is not going to get a lot of time to hit creeps here. He even has to ulti to get back to his tier 2. Really rough.
That's feeling a little bit spooky for Nouns.
Yeah, so they're just going to leave their safe lane now as EG continues to pressure. They're just getting so much more value out of this.
There's the Rupture. They have the X in place. Torrent, everything that they need here for Gunner. He's not going to be able to get home. And that's a kill for Arteezy.
You know, maybe they got a little too cheeky expecting the mid Tusk to work. It's certainly something EG was prepped for. What are we going to do if he goes for Tuskar? Well, Kunkka works great here. Abed just kind of bullied him in lane. Then they did the rotation with the 5-minute catapult. They get the mid tower, and that just opens the jungle, which not only undercuts what Gunnar wants to do, but also undercuts what Medusa wants to do. So, unfortunately for them, maybe the Tusk works great in late game if their networks are similar, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case now. So, kind of really opens up Nouns' strategy in a big way.
I mean, that's what we were discussing earlier. Although, you know, little bit of, you know, silver lining. They do manage to get the tower in the top lane. So that will open up the jungle a tiny bit here, but that's what we were saying earlier, though, about the draft is that, you know, this draft coming out from Nouns, it needs to keep up that momentum and the pressure. If they start to fall behind, things start getting very scary because they do have the Medusa as the late game policy, but if the rest of the team is just paper, they're not going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with EG in that later
Yeah, and even if they are standing perfectly positioned and Dusa is the front line, she might still die.
They know exactly where he is, so they've got the War Stomp, they've got everything they need. One more hit should be able to do the trick, and Crit is just on fire right now. Gunnar, I'm gonna try to force him out. Snowball, Walrus Punch, couple more clicks with the shard, just gonna hold in place, and whoop, the axe is coming in hot.
They needed that kill so badly. Finally getting for their first kill on the board. That's a mega kill streak for Crit, by the way. He's got 5 kills. 5 of the 7 kills have been his. He has been playing remarkably good. Even picks up the tome here. Chen's like, he's like, sorry, Chen, I want another point in Devour or something.
Easy freak.
Good. He'll be very farmed.
He's walking his pet squirrel over here, but Bushwhack will push him back. It feels like, yeah, it's just a total turn on the head here. EG playing very, very quickly. Z-Freak, oh dear, this is looking like a dead squirrel. Yep. But the aggression is really amped up here on the side of EG. They played this very well.
Yeah, they really have been. It just feels like the Hoodwink hasn't been able to slow down what EG's been doing. You know, he's more of like a disabler follow-up type hero. He hasn't hit 6 yet, not even close, of course. So even getting level advantages have been tough. So he's like scrabbling